Thundercup, and you are watching Be My Guest with Maria-Karmina and Bear.
What's up, y'all? It's Maria-Karmina, and I am with the beautiful Monica Lynn, famously known as Thundercup. Monica, you are the marketing director to Popular Demand and the half HBIC to I Lust Eyewear, correct? Tell me where you're from.
So I grew up in the Pasadena area in Southern California, and then I split my childhood between Pasadena and Taiwan. So I actually moved there when I was 9, so I kind of grew up in between both places.
So you are full Taiwanese, correct?
Yeah.
Do you know Taiwanese fluently? Can you say something in Taiwanese?
I can say, okay, so I'm fluent, but I haven't spoke Taiwanese to anyone in like years.
That's fine.
So I'm not as I can understand it fluently, but I can say like some phrases. But I'm fluent in like Mandarin and stuff.
Wow. So what's the biggest pet peeve for you? Because as Asians, I get this all the time. People think I'm Korean and they start speaking to me as if, oh, what does Korean food taste like? It's like, no, I don't know anything about that culture. I am Filipino. What is your biggest pet peeve as an Asian American in society today?
I think, I don't know if I have like pet peeves. I guess just like stereotypes.
Sure.
But I personally, like from my experience, a lot of times when people ask questions like that or they have stereotypes or anything like that, it's just because they're not that they're ignorant in like a bad way, they're just ignorant because they've never been exposed to it. So I feel like, you know, if you grew up with a certain culture, it's kind of like your job to put on for that culture and educate other people about that culture.
People only know Popular Demand because of Monica Thundercup. And
It's definitely a team effort.
6 o'clock, a billboard welcoming the Rams back to LA is managing to create buzz even after it's been taken down. Take a look. The welcome sign says Los Angeles greater than St. Louis.
It's really important, you know, when you have a startup to build a really solid team. You know, you may not necessarily have to have all the experience in the world, but everyone has to have the same work ethic and drive.
I want to know, what would you tell your younger self?
What would I tell my younger self? I would tell my younger self that my life will be very different in the next 2 years. Definitely stand your ground. I mean, okay, I guess if I were to mentor someone who was like maybe 17 or 18 or younger, I would let her know, you know, coming into industry like mine, it's pretty like male dominated. So coming into the industry as a woman, you have to be professional. You know, if this is what you really want to do and you're not just here to socialize or have fun or find a husband, then you really have to stand your ground and you know, be true to what your objective is and not get distracted. If guys hit on you and all that stuff, like you have to stand your ground. You have to let them know, hey, this is not what I'm here for. You know, it's hard because a lot of girls don't really know how to like navigate that. So if I were to mentor someone, I would let them know like no. Like no means no. If you feel uncomfortable, you feel uncomfortable. If you feel a certain way or you feel like this is not for you, then you trust your gut. And you know, there are definitely guys out there who are professional and who don't jeopardize, you know, someone's well-being or self-esteem or just sense of security in a workplace. So those are the people you should stick with. And thank God there are people out there like that. But, you know, you just have to speak up, stick up for yourself, and let people know not to mess with you. You know, I think at the end of the day, and I even probably have gone through different phases of this, but you really need to just figure out what your personal brand is and what your narrative is and just focus on stick to that. Don't be afraid if it's like not what your culture usually supports. And, you know, as an Asian American, I think most Asian American families and parents would hope that their children, this is a stereotype obviously, but they would hope that their children become something more traditional, whether it's something in the medical field or law or, you know, finance and things like that. So when someone does come out of that mold, it's a risk. It's a risk kind of like on all ends, because you don't really know, you know, I guess Asian parents want those careers for their kids because it's more predictable, like what's gonna happen. Yeah, it's more stable, it's more predictable. But for anything, especially like a creative career, you may not get that and you don't know. And that's part of the risk. You know, when I started in streetwear, I wasn't like, I would definitely make goals and say, okay, this is what I want out of this experience. I just want to be in an industry that I really love, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, you really have to just make sure you are, this is what you're open to different results. You know, you may discover that this is not what you really want to do. You might discover this is what you want to do, but you have to be okay with it not being stable maybe, or not as much money as finance makes and all that stuff. And I think the most important thing is that you need to be okay with everyone kind of going against you on it, especially like your own family or maybe your friends that you grew up with. And until you know, have good results come from whatever it is that you're pursuing.
Preach, preach. I think that's why it goes so hard for Asian American women in this creative industry, because it's so rare for us to take a step back and be like, this is what I want to do, and not necessarily what has been paved for me by my parents or my family.
Right.
So that's why I'm so glad I met you.
What else do you got going on?
So I'm working on launching iLust, which is the women's sunglasses company. I'm putting together, I have like a photo art series called Thundercup and Friends. So I'm putting that together for September. I'm getting all the pieces together for it. But yeah, I'm really excited for that. That's like one of my big projects.
Monica, where can my beautiful people find you on social media?
On Instagram, I'm Thundercup, and on Twitter, I'm Thundercup LA, and I think that's, where else can you find me? Snapchat? Oh, Snapchat, I'm also Thundercup. So it's Thundercup on everything except for Twitter. I need someone to give me the Thundercup handle, I don't know, but
give it up. I have one last thing. So you told me you were going to Boston. So all of my guests, I kind of give them a present, and I want you to open it.